This is perfect. I want you guys to keep working on your cards while I say a few words to you. And because sometimes I find that if I'm doing something, I listen better, actually. I don't know if you find that at all. If you don't, then you're going to miss out. I'm just letting you know. So, again, thank you so much for inviting me here. I love coming up here. Coming to Graceland is like coming home for me. I graduated a long time ago. I could probably be one of you's mother. What? Maybe Alistair's. So, I've been thinking a lot about expectation. You know, during the Advent season, there's a lot of expectation that comes with it. You're excited about Christmas, and you're excited about seeing your family, and you're excited about school being done for the semester. There's so much expectation, and you guys are right in the middle of all that expectation right now. Finals week. You know, as a side note, I love finals week. I loved finals week, and I loved it because, you know, you have your whole semester all lined out, and every single day, you know, you had like your classes. You had 8 o'clock calculus, the best class in the world. You had, you know, your 9 o'clock, you had your 1 o'clock, all semester you have your schedule lined out. And then during finals week, you get up on Monday morning and you're like, I have one final today at 3 o'clock. I could do whatever I want to do. Finals week is awesome, people. Embrace it. Embrace it. You can watch The Price is Right. Whereas all semester, you missed it because you were in class. Finals week, you can watch it, right? Amen. Amen. Watching The Price is Right. I'm in the middle of expectation too. I've just started a new job, and I am smack dab where you are right now, the middle of expectation. And what I found is that expectation is both joyful and fearful. You know, you have all these fears about what's going to happen because you don't know, but yet you have lots of joy too, like exams. Now, I love exams. I love taking a test, and I love showing the teacher or the professor exactly what I know. Oh, what up, Tony and Charmaine? You think I don't know where Shatim is? I do. Boom. Right? It's like, oh, Tony and Charmaine, you think I'm not smart? You think I'm going to get a 99.5%? I'm going for the full 100. Here we go. So I love showing people what I know. Lots of joy. For a lot of people I know, there's a lot of fear too for finals. Like, you just don't know if you've studied enough. You don't know if you know the right stuff. You don't know if you're actually ready to walk in and look at that test. So full of joy, full of fear. You know, other things to expect, like a birth of a baby. You know, I've never had a baby. I've only had a cat. But, I mean, full of joy, full of fear. You know, you're so joyful. You want this baby. You're excited about it. And yet, when it gets here, you're like, what do I do with it now? Like, it cries. What do I do? A new relationship is something to be full of expectation. You know, a lot of joy in this new relationship because, you know, he's cute and funny and wonderful, and yet full of fear too. You know, like, what if I wear the wrong thing? What if I say the wrong thing? What if I'm a nerd? What if he doesn't like me? So the thing about expectation is you don't really know what you're going to get. You know what you hope you're going to get, but you don't know what is actually going to happen. So what I was thinking is that in order to diminish that fear and enhance that joy factor, there's one really important thing that you can do. Does anybody know that one important thing that you can do to diminish that fear and enhance that joy? Any ideas? What? Breathe? Oh, that's true. Yes, absolutely. Breathing is good. Continue that. Pray? Absolutely. Party. Maybe. What I was thinking is, one thing that diminishes fear, especially like at exam time, and increases joy, is to prepare. And in preparing can involve all kinds of things. Prayer, and it can involve many different things. It can involve studying. It can involve just getting ready. So preparing, I think, probably diminishes that fear. The more you know when you walk into that test, right? Like, for instance, the quadratic formula. If you know the quadratic formula, then you can do all kinds of equations. Let's sing it. Ready? Negative b Plus or minus the square root. B squared minus 4AC. Over 2A. You walk into a test knowing the quadratic formula and you can do so much with it. Unfortunately, you might have to sing it, but at least you know it, right? So preparing takes away some of that fear. Preparing before you have a baby takes away some of that fear too. My best friend Tara just had a baby 2 months ago, and it turns out if you know the 5 S's, you can get a baby to stop crying, no worries. Done and done. I only have to get to the 3rd S with Cameron. I'm just like, you shake and you shush and you swaddle, and they're pretty much done. 5 S's, no more crying. See, preparing takes away that fear. You know what to do with a baby when it cries? Get it done. So expectation, full of joy and fear. Preparing takes away some of that fear. Now, what Stacy read earlier was about John the Baptist. And John the Baptist came before Jesus. And John the Baptist, his whole goal, his only goal was to prepare. His job was to prepare people for the arrival of Jesus. His job was to prepare people, make sure they are ready in their hearts and in their minds and in their bodies for the arrival of the Messiah. Let me read it to you. I'm going to read it off my iPhone because I kind of forgot my Bible. There was a man sent from God whose name was John. He came as a witness to testify concerning that light, so that through him all might believe. He himself was not the light. He came as only a witness to the light. Now this is John's testimony when the Jewish leaders in Jerusalem sent priests and Levites to ask him who he was. He did not fail to confess, but confessed freely. This is John talking. I am not the Messiah. They asked him, then who are you? Are you Elijah? He said, I am not. Are you the prophet? And he answered, no. Finally they said, who the heck are you? Give us an answer to take back to those who sent us. What do you say about yourself? John replied in the words of Isaiah, I am the voice of one calling in the wilderness, make straight the way of the Lord. Now the Pharisees who sent him questioned him, why then do you baptize if you are not the Messiah, nor Elijah, nor the prophet? I baptize with water, John replied, but among you stands one you do not know. He is the one who comes after me, the straps of whose sandals I am not worthy to untie. This all happened at Bethany, Missouri. I'm just kidding. At Bethany over in Israel, on the other side of the Jordan where John was baptizing. Not Bethany, Missouri. I don't think. So John came to get people ready for Christ. John came to take away some of that fear that they might have been feeling. I don't know how much you know about 2,000 years ago in Israel, but it wasn't a great place. The poor Israelites, go back to 1280 BCE, and they're slaves in Egypt. God pulls them out of slaves in Egypt. They go to Canaan. And then they're kind of attacked by the Canaanites. The Canaanites are like, we don't really want you here. And so there's fighting among them. The Israelites build a temple, and then the Assyrians come in approximately 586 BCE. That's going to be on your test. And they scatter all of the Israelites away from each other. So families are separated, brothers are separated from each other, sisters, parents. They make the Israelites leave their land that God gave them. Make them leave their land, and then they are scattered, right? They're all out. So finally they get to come back, and they're like, oh my gosh, we get to rule ourselves. And then the Romans come in, and the Romans are mean. If you step one tiny little toe out of line, then it could have been you up on that cross being crucified. Like the Romans forced the Israelites to worship Caesar as their God, and the Israelites are like, no, we only have one God. We can only worship our God. And yet, it was just a really difficult time. So here comes John the Baptist. Well, he's not called John the Baptist in the Bible, but here comes John the Baptist, who is Jesus' cousin. His mom is named Elizabeth. And when Mary was pregnant with Jesus, Mary went to visit Elizabeth. And when Mary showed up at the door, it says that the baby in Elizabeth's belly leaped with joy. That was John the Baptist, leaped with joy. He recognized Mary and the Messiah within her. So they're cousins. John and Jesus are cousins. Probably shirt-tail cousins. I don't know how close of cousins they were. So John's job is to help people be ready for this Messiah. And these people are not ready. They don't know what this Messiah is going to be like. They don't know if this Messiah is going to be like a huge general who's going to